Have you ever walked past a discarded pallet, a neighbor's old fence lying by the curb, or a pile of offcuts from a construction site and seen something more than just garbage? Most people see waste, but for a creative entrepreneur, a pile of scrap wood is pure, untapped potential. It's raw material with zero cost and a surprisingly high perceived value. In a world that craves authenticity, rustic home decor, and sustainable goods, transforming someone else's trash into treasured art is one of the most accessible and profitable business models out there. Let's explore how you can turn those splinters into a steady stream of income. The beauty of this venture begins with sourcing, and the goal is to keep your material costs at absolute zero. If you're paying retail for wood, you're functioning as a carpenter, but if you reclaim it for free, you're an artist. So, where do you find your gold? Start by asking permission at construction sites, where builders are often thrilled to let you take scrap 2x4s, plywood offcuts, and siding because it saves them hauling fees. You can also scour Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist with searches for free pallets or old fencing. If you have a truck and can show up quickly, you'll be the hero who takes it all away. And don't underestimate neighborhood walks on bulk trash day, which is like the Super Bowl of scrap wood hunting. Old furniture made of solid wood, broken headboards, and discarded shelving are everywhere. Even local factories often have scrap bins full of hardwood cut-offs they're happy to give away. Once you've gathered your materials, the next step is turning that scrap into cash. Not all wood is created equal, of course. A rotted 2x4 won't sell, but a piece of weathered barn wood will. The possibilities range from easy projects to advanced, high-end creations. For the bread and butter items that are simple to make and quick to sell, consider rustic shelves. You can cut a plank to length, sand the edges, and add rope or iron brackets for a timeless look that everyone needs. Wooden signs are another classic, painting phrases like "bless this mess" or custom family names onto reclaimed boards, where the rougher the wood, the more charm it has. Seasonal holiday decor, like scrap wood snowmen or rustic Christmas trees, also fly off tables at craft fairs. For something a bit more unique, you can move into mid-tier projects like abstract paintings made of wood. By gluing different shapes and tones of scrap onto a backing board, you can create geometric wall sculptures that sell for impressive prices as modern art. Even tiny scraps can become jewelry or watch holders, small blocks with drilled holes that offer an upgrade over store-bought boxes. You might also repurpose an old dresser drawer by mounting it on the wall as a charming shadow box. And if you're ready to tackle high-end pieces, live-edge epoxy river tables combine beautiful scrap hardwood with colored resin to create statement furniture worth thousands. Large-scale reclaimed wood installations are another avenue, often sold to interior designers or restaurants looking for a focal point. Of course, making the art is only half the equation. Selling it is where the magic happens. Remember that the story behind the piece is just as important as the piece itself. When you list an item, don't just call it a wood sign. Describe it as handcrafted from lumber reclaimed from a 100-year-old barn. People buy into the history and the narrative. As for where to sell, Etsy is a go-to for handmade rustic decor, but great photos are non-negotiable there. You might also approach local boutiques or coffee shops to sell on consignment, letting people see your work in person. Craft fairs and farmers markets are ideal for scrap wood art, where you can offer a grab bin of smaller items alongside larger statement pieces. And don't overlook social media. Instagram and TikTok time-lapses of you transforming rotten boards into beautiful art are hypnotic and help you connect with buyers through hashtags like reclaimed wood or rustic decor. Let's talk about the math and the mindset. A solid pricing formula is to add your materials and labor, then multiply by 2 for wholesale, and again by 2 for retail. Since your materials are often free, your labor is your main cost, so pay yourself fairly. If a sign takes 2 hours, don't sell it for $20. Aim for 50 to 80 instead. And always prioritize safety. Wear a dust mask and safety glasses, and check pallets for an HT stamp, which means heat treated. If you see MB, steer clear, as it indicates toxic chemical treatment. Let's start with finding your profitable corner. A shop that simply offers rustic decor is vague, but one that specializes in something specific is memorable and can command higher prices. Your scrap wood is the medium, but your niche is your message. For example, you could become the pet portrait pioneer, creating custom layered portraits of dogs and cats using scrap wood. Pet owners are famously willing to spend generously on custom items, and the rustic charm of the wood sets your work apart from a standard canvas print. Alternatively, you might position yourself as the plant parent's best friend. With so many people obsessed with houseplants, you can design and build scrap wood plant stands, macrame hangers with wooden rings, or tiered shelving units that solve the problem of ugly plastic pots. If you live near the coast, go all in on a nautical niche with weathered gray wood, oars, and fish shapes. In the mountains, focus on rustic antlers and pine tree silhouettes. Become the go-to person for that specific look in your area or on Etsy. And don't overlook the corporate world. High-ticket B2B niches, like creating custom branded pieces for real estate agents or high-end salons, can yield impressive commissions. Imagine a large, beautifully crafted wooden rendering of a city skyline made from local reclaimed wood. It's a tax-deductible gift for them and a high-margin project for you. Now let's talk about sourcing, but at a more strategic level. Scavenging is great, but predicting your material needs and building relationships takes it to another level. Instead of just hunting for piles of wood, call demolition companies and ask for a list of upcoming projects. If a historic school is being torn down, you might bid on the right to salvage the gymnasium floor or the blackboards. You can also place a wanted ad on Craigslist positioning yourself as a professional artist seeking old barn wood and solid furniture, offering cash for large lots. People with a pile of wood in their yard will call you to solve their problem. And don't forget to connect with local sawmills, which often have piles of slab waste perfect for live-edge shelves that you can get for next to nothing. When it comes to the making process, efficiency is key because time is money. Scrap wood can be slow to process. So batch processing is your friend. Dismantle multiple pallets in one afternoon, sand and plane a stack of boards in a single session, and have your materials prepped and ready to go. This is the secret to fulfilling multiple orders without losing your mind. Embrace the flaws in the wood, like wormholes and nail marks, because that's where the value lies. But control the liabilities by spending time hand-sanding pieces that will be touched, and consider using a torch for the shoe sugi ban method to make the texture pop and naturally seal the wood. If you venture into epoxy for river tables or coasters, invest in quality materials like deep pour, UV-stable epoxy, and a pressure pot to eliminate bubbles, and achieve a glass-like finish that commands a premium. Your sales strategy also needs to evolve beyond the craft fair. While fairs are great for cash flow, they're limited by the hours in a day. To scale, you need systems. Use Instagram as your catalog, not your store. Tell stories, show process videos, and build a following, but drive all traffic to your website or Etsy shop. Harness the power of pre-selling by posting raw materials and design sketches before building a large, expensive piece, asking who wants to claim it before it's finished. This can fund your materials and guarantee a sale up front. Wholesaling to interior designers is another game changer. Create a simple PDF portfolio of your work and reach out with a polite note offering a trade discount. Designers have clients with money and a need for unique pieces they can't find anywhere else. And for custom orders, elevate your service by offering stain samples on the actual wood. Tape off sections, paint multiple options, and mail the board to the client. This level of professionalism justifies a higher price and prevents disputes over color. Finally, let's address the money mindset. You love the work, but the work must love you back financially. When pricing custom projects, include a design and consultation fee to cover your time texting, visiting spaces, and sending mock-ups. Shift from pricing based on materials and hours to value-based pricing. A small sign might be an impulse buy at $40, but a large custom family name sign for above a fireplace is the focal point of a living room and worth $250. A reclaimed barnwood headboard as a statement piece can fetch $800. And don't be afraid to create loss leaders, like a simple set of rustic coasters for $15 to drive traffic to your booth or website. Once people are there, they'll see your higher ticket items. Making money with scrap wood art is a beautiful paradox. It's about taking something discarded and forgotten and imbuing it with new life and value. But to make a real living, You have to treat the business of art with the same creativity you apply to the wood itself. The market isn't just buying a piece of wood. They're buying a story of sustainability, a unique connection to the past, and a solution to their boring, beige walls. Your job is to provide that consistently, professionally, and profitably. Now, go make something out of nothing. The bottom line is that making money with scrap wood art isn't just about being handy with a saw. It's about seeing value where others see waste, about storytelling, and about creating pieces that bring warmth and character into a home while being kind to the planet. So grab a crowbar, rescue that discarded fence, and remember, one person's junk really can become your mortgage payment.